What is causing you to go off?
They're kidding, that slipped.
Oh man.
Oh, that pendulum is going nuts. Can you touch my hand?
Is there anything or anybody connected to this doll?
Hello everybody, welcome back to another video of Mondo Docs. In this video, my friends Kristen, Shawn, and I all went out to Gettysburg, Pennsylvania to check out the Museum of Haunted Objects. This was the same house that Jenny Wade was born and raised in. If you don't know Jenny Wade, she was the only civilian known to be killed during the 3-day Battle of Gettysburg. Now, this building is a, well, museum of haunted and cursed items. We were very lucky enough to do a night investigation in this museum, but first, we did a daytime tour to give you guys an introduction to some of the items that haunt this museum. Now, the tour itself was an hour long, so we cut it down just a bit, well, by a lot actually, just to highlight some of the items that we focused on that night. Now, the evening was very interesting, and I think you guys will, well, you'll see as the video goes on. But overall, I hope you guys do enjoy the video. And now let's let our very gracious and eccentric tour guide, Cheryl, give us some stories about some of the items that we investigated at the Museum of Haunted Objects.
Now, we've been a company here in Gettysburg since 2003. Not only do we do paranormal investigation, we also do walking tours as well. With this photo of this beautiful lady, and now we don't know who she is, but we also know that she's a widow because she's wearing a black dress. Well, they would bring the photo in, they'd hang her on a wall. Every time they'd leave and come back, she'd be face first on the ground. Alright, they'll pick her up, secure her onto the wall again, leave and come back, she'd be face first on the ground. Well, thank goodness that the widow's cottage did have carpeting, because you notice there are several dings on her frame. When the guys moved out, they hung her in here. Well, apparently she likes it here. I haven't seen her on the floor since. Well, anyway, one day co-worker John has a group of people on his tour. One of those guys is a hardcore skeptic, and he's like, I don't believe in all of this. This is all hogwash. Well, John decides he's going to challenge this man. He's going to say, I need for you to step right in front of her, look her straight in the face, and tell her what you said to me. Well, man does that, looks her straight in the face, and he's like, I don't believe in all of this. This is all hogwash. Well, they leave the room. John is beginning to realize that this man is looking over his shoulders a lot. At the end of the tour, this man actually says to John, he's like, John, I could have sworn that she was following me throughout the whole museum. Well, needless to say, this man leaves here as a believer. The typewriter comes from a Civil War house. Now, you notice a lot of those buildings that were here during the battle are still standing here today. Well, one of those homes was made into a rental. Now, a man decided that he's going to rent it out to a couple. The couple moves in. Well, they venture downstairs. They want to look for storage space for their stuff. Now, the only thing that they see on the shelves is this typewriter. Well, they decided that they're going to move this typewriter to start filling their shelves with their stuffs. Now, they moved the typewriter, They go upstairs, they come back down to only realize that the typewriter they had just moved had been moved into the very same spot where they moved it from. Well, anyway, the next person who moves in is our manager, Jolene Riley. Now, Jolene sees this typewriter, she falls in love with it. She felt like the person who wanted this typewriter was probably a writer just like herself. They have a common bond. Well, Jolene moves into a house and she quickly realizes that the house is haunted, but it doesn't faze her much. But when her lease is up, she decided she's going to ask the landlord, can I please have this typewriter? And the landlord is like, take it. It's all yours. Well, at that time, our company buys the Tilly Pierce House bed and breakfast. Well, she decides she's going to put this typewriter in the parlor as a nice centerpiece. They begin to realize that the guests will begin to hear typing in the middle of the night. They were complaining about it. So she moves the typewriter to an office, puts the typewriter on a nice table, puts little knickknacks next to it. Every time she leaves and comes back, the knickknacks would be knocked onto the floor. Now she'll pick them up, put that next to the typewriter, she'll even come back and they'd be onto the floor again. Well, anyway, that's when she decided, you know what, I'm just going to donate this to our museum. The first thing I check when I open up the museum is the typewriter, because sometimes I'll notice that the keys will be pressed down. I do have guests who actually swear that they hear typing coming from that typewriter while they're on my tours. Anybody want to take a nice typewriter home tonight? But, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go into our next room. Now, the next room is the room of our dark objects. I'm going to kindly ask you not to touch anything here. All right. These 3 dolls come to us from Scotland. They were also present during an exorcism. Now, one thing you don't want present during an exorcism is a cute little doll. Now, why? When the spirit gets exorcised from the person's body, it has to find 7 other spirits meaner than it. And they all have to have a place to hide. Now, what a cute place to hide is a cute little doll. Well, anyway, last year when the pandemic hit, we had no other choice but to close the museum down. When we closed the museum down, this little cute doll is facing this way. Now, the only person during that time period with a key to the museum and the key to the case is our manager. Well, during that time period, our manager finds out that she has some serious medical issues, so she's not leaving her house unless she's going to a doctor. Well, anyway, 3 months go by. We open up the museum again. This doll who was facing this way is right now facing this way. She tends to move her arms and her legs and her head a lot. A couple of guests have actually looked at her and thought that she actually blinked at them when she can't blink. One time I had a guest who looked at her and thought that she actually moved her foot. I would have guests who look at her and could swear that she moves her arms and her legs. The second thing that I look at is the position of the doll. Come up here one time, I'll look at the position of the doll. I go back downstairs, I'm talking to my coworkers. Well, my coworker comes up here, he looks at the doll and he's like, Cheryl, you gotta come up here quickly. I gotta show you something. No, I know exactly what he's gonna show me. I come up here, I look at the position of the doll and she's in a totally different position than when I first saw her. Anybody want to take a nice cute little doll home tonight? For this next piece of equipment, I'm going to kindly ask that you please stand on this side of the table, please. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, this is a cursed mirror of aging. I don't touch this mirror. I don't flash it at myself. I wouldn't flash it at you. That is not fair. It's still an active mirror. Well, the story behind this mirror is that there was a lady who was supposed to marry her fiance. Well, she finds out that her fiance is cheating on her with a 20-year-old. Now, he wants to marry the 20-year-old. Well, she's like, you know what? You have a good life. What does she do next? She takes this mirror. She has it cursed by a witch. Now, she wants to give this mirror to this 20-year-old as a wedding present. Well, she has it cursed. Now, she's going to give this to this 20-year-old. And she's going to be like, here's a wedding present from me to you. No hard feelings. Make yourself beautiful for your new husband every day. Look in the mirror, comb your hair, put on your makeup. Oh, this 20-year-old is like, oh, thank you. Not knowing what she's receiving. All right, she takes this mirror. She marries her new husband. She looks in the mirror. She's combing her hair, putting on her makeup. About a week after that, she's beginning to realize she's growing crow's feet on the side of her eyes. Folks, if that was me, I'd be running to the doctor for Botox. I'd be putting on that cream or their makeup. All right, she's still looking in the mirror, combing her hair, putting on her makeup. About a week after that, she's beginning to realize she's growing lines above her forehead. What's going on? She's only in her 20s. All right, about a week after that, she's still looking in the mirror, combing her hair, putting on her makeup. She's beginning to realize that her cheeks are beginning to sag. Now, turns out that her new husband noticed what was going on. He loved his wife so much, he wants to grow old with her. So what does he do? He's going to look in the mirror and he's going to shave. Well, it turns out when this lady turned 30 years old, she looked like she was about 70. Now she lives to be about 85 years old. I hate to even think of what she looked like. I'm thinking the crypt keeper.
That's a serious curse. That's a serious curse.
Yes, yes. Well, anyway, the death chair located right behind you. It's not as bad as it sounds now. Have y'all ever seen the TV show All in the Family? Okay, you remember one of the characters, Artie, how he had his favorite chair. He'd sit in his chair, he'd watch a ball game, drink a beer, or have a conversation or two in his chair. Now, in the TV series, if any of the other characters sat in Archie's chair, he'd tell him, get out of my chair. Well, this chair belonged to a man named Artie. Now, Artie loved his chair. Now, he'd probably sit in his chair, drink a beer, watch a ball game, have a conversation or two in his chair. Now, they find out that Artie passes away at 70 years old. Now, when he passes away, he already outlives all of his family and his friends. So all of his belongings go to an auction to include that chair. Well, the next person who sees that chair, they're like, oh, that's a nice chair. It's going to match the walls, the carpet, the furniture. Well, anyway, they decided that they're going to purchase this chair, not knowing that they're purchasing something along with it. Artie. Well, they bring the chair home and they begin to sit in it and they begin to realize that they're not getting a very comfortable feeling sitting in a chair. They would feel like hands pushing them out of the chair. The family would feel that way and some of their guests would feel the same way too, hands pushing them out of the chair. Well, if Artie likes you, he'll let you sit in a chair, but if he doesn't like you, he'll push you out of the chair. Well, one day I did have a guest, a lady who was on my tour. Now, she was pregnant. At the end of the tour, she said, Cheryl, it felt like somebody was putting their hands on my back and pushing me away from the chair. I actually have guests on my tours who would actually feel a cold spot on the back of their back if they'd have their back towards that chair. One day I had a guest on my tour who almost lost his balance and almost fell into Artie's chair. Y'all want to take a nice chair home tonight? All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go into the next room where I'm going to introduce you to Rosie. You can go on in. ladies and gentlemen, I'm also going to introduce you to Rosie. Now, one of our paranormal investigators, his name is Brian. He likes to go to all these antique shops here, and he'll buy some antiques and he'll bring them home. He'll fix them up and resell them on eBay for a profit. Well, anyway, one day Brian brings his daughter to one of these shops. She sees this doll, she falls in love with it, and she's like, Daddy, can you please buy this for me? Please, please, please. Well, Brian, being the kind-hearted man that he is, he buys this doll for his daughter. He brings her home, he has her appraised, and they find out that at that time she's about 90 years old, and she's what we call a funeral doll. During the 1800s, when a family lost a child, they would have a doll made in that child's image. They would actually take hair from the child's head and put it on the doll's head. She has actual human hair on her head. Wait till you hear this. They would actually take teeth from the child's mouth and put it in the doll's mouth. She has actual choppers in her teeth, in her mouth.
Oh my God.
Yes. Now, we don't know who she's made in the image of because she's supposed to be in a crypt with the child. Now, how she made it to the antique shop, we don't know. And we also don't know who made her because she doesn't have a maker's mark. Well, Brian decides he's going to donate her to the museum because he finds out that his daughter is actually having nightmares about the doll. He finds out that she's actually appearing in his daughter's dreams, asking her to play with her. All right, so he donates her to the museum. Now, we here at Gettysburg Ghost Tours have what we call reoccurring fans. Now, those are the people that will come back and they'll ask for Cheryl, Bob, Dan, Finn as a tour guide. Well, one day it's John's day off and he's sitting home and relaxing. You don't want to get a phone call asking you to come in on your day off. Well, John receives that phone call and it's our manager, Jolene Riley, and Jolene is like, John, we have a museum tour. Can you come and do it? Well, John was like, oh, okay, who is it? Well, it's Katie. Well, Katie is one of John's fans. Now, John, you have to answer to the fans. John comes here, he gives Katie a tour throughout the whole museum. The last thing she looks at is this cute little doll. Now she looks at it and she falls in love with it. And John begins to realize that Katie and this doll have a very resemblance to each other. Yeah. When both John and Katie leave the room, they both hear the voice of a baby crying in this room and they can't figure out why. Well, John comes up here, he looks at the doll and he notices that this doll has a very sad look on her face. And she had a sad look on her face for quite a while, but they couldn't figure out why until one day John finally figured out it has to have something to do with Katie. Well, he calls Katie back. When Katie does come back, she does bring a present for the doll. Now, if you look inside her carriage there is a rubber ducky. And there's also a book inside as well. And ever since then, we've noticed that this doll has a very happy look on her face.
Oh my God, it does have teeth.
That's so creepy.
It's creepy.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you all so much for taking Gettysburg Ghost Tours. Thank you for taking my tour. If you would like to, you could say a prayer, ask the spirits to stay here and not follow you home.
Alright guys, so Kristen is blind from my light. Shawn is in the bathroom coming down. We are at the Museum of Haunted Objects at night. And at night, Mike, the guy who works there, he's a gracious host. He's upstairs in the one room with the with Rose, I think her name is, the one doll. And yeah, we are excited for this. Shawn has EMF readers. We're going to be doing, well, you guys already got a daytime tour through the house, but we're going to do a night walkthrough with the EMF readers in each room to see if anything kicks off on the meters. And then we're going to make our way to the room with the chest and the creepy lady picture on the wall and the typewriter. And we're going to attempt to make contact. So, are you excited?
I'm very excited.
Kristen, are you excited?
Absolutely not.
Yeah, no, that's about right.
Can't wait to go home.
I will, you know what, Shawn, I'll grab one of the meters so
Yeah,
I can
sure.
have it on camera as well.
Do you want that one?
So this one is supposed to make a lot of noise when, like this. Give me something to lay down a little bit. Kind of like this, yeah. Now, do you want to explain what an EMF reader is, Shawn?
So it's pretty much going to detect the electromagnetic field and any variations or fluctuations in that. So it can also be set off with cell phones or wires in the walls, so we got to be careful with what we go near. But they say that spirits emit electromagnetic energy, so that should come up on one of these devices for us.
So there's a spirit trying to communicate with us or near us. One of these devices should go off.
Yeah.
This makes noise, that one just kind of lights up.
Yeah, this one should light up even. It's kind of doing that now too. It might be something with the
Yeah.
wiring here.
And internet
with the
modems
camera.
can also.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'll go first. And Mike is up there in the one room on the couch, so you'll see him. But yeah, let's give you guys a nighttime tour of this place.
And that beeps on.
I've got the night vision stationary camera right there. And there's Mike hanging out.
Hey,
And this is the mirror room. Hey Shawn, this is the one you were talking about?
Yeah, there.
I'm sure it's covered up for a reason.
uh-oh.
What is causing you to go off?
That one's
Oh,
pretty solid.
it's the aging mirror.
That's crazy.
Okay.
Yeah, it's covered up, yeah. Oh,
Why would...
well, I'm actually more curious about this. Why that's happening.
That is so strange.
And there's nothing under the table. Is your meter going?
This is staying pretty solid, so this is doing that like kind of through the whole room.
And this is the cursed mirror of aging. That's causing that. It's not
So
that.
that's weird.
All right. Well, we'll come back here eventually.
There it is.
So this is the Ouija board from 1940. So over here, this is the chair. Oh, it's going nuts by the chair.
Strange.
What do you think?
That's weird.
All right, we'll make our way through.
This is pretty solid. Too, so I don't know.
All right, let's come in here.
Thing hasn't shut up.
This is the Victorian.
That's actually Rosie. She was owned by one of our investigators. His daughter stated that Rosie would come to her in her dreams, so it was donated to the museum. And to the left is the widow's dress, which they said back in the era of the Victorian, you had to wear that dress no less than 2 years after your husband passed away.
Wow. But it's interesting how this is going off. What's your EMF reader?
Rosie
then?
also has human hair and human teeth, and she does cry.
Oh, that's too cool.
Yeah, we did hear that in the Well, Cheryl and John mentioned that, yeah.
That's crazy.
That's interesting. All right, we'll make our way back here.
Wow.
It's like he got his headlights on.
Yeah, this thing's very, very bright.
Very bright.
If we want to find God, this is the way to do it. Ooh,
But,
that's kind of.
oh, it's cold in here.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Well, that's weird. It was really hot in here earlier, remember?
Yeah.
I had a gentleman who was drawn to this picture, and so when she looked, when he looked at her face, she turned black and her turned into a skull. Oh, wow. Yeah, she's pretty creepy.
What are you doing? Typewriter.
Temperature is completely different here.
Yeah, it was hot in here earlier.
Really cold in here.
Before.
Like it feels like we walked into an
All right,
freezer.
let's have a seat. Let's sit down on the
It's
floor
really
real quick.
cool.
We're gonna do an EVP session real quick.
If that gets to be too annoying too, you can turn it
Yeah,
down on the side.
let's turn it off for now.
Yeah, sure.
All right, so we are here in the Museum of Haunted Objects in Gettysburg. Our EMF readers are going off pretty nuts,
Yes.
especially in this room as well. Is there anyone in here that wants to communicate? Someone who's connected to that typewriter? Can you press any of the keys on that typewriter? I think it's just a...
The
The rain on
Rain.
the
Yeah. If there's anyone in here, can you tell us your name? Are you connected to one of these objects in this room? Do you enjoy the company at night? Do you guys have any questions?
trying to think of trigger words that they were talking about.
What's your favorite object in this room? Can you tell us where you died? Do you know what year it is?
Alright, so we are here in the Museum of Haunted Objects in Gettysburg. Our EMF readers are going off pretty nuts.
Yes.
Especially in this room as well. Is there anyone in here that wants to communicate? Someone who's connected to that typewriter? Can you press any of the keys on that typewriter? I think it's just a...
The rain on the
Rain.
window.
Yeah. If there's anyone in here, can you tell us your name? Are you connected to one of these objects in this room?
Did you hear something?
Do you enjoy the company at night? You guys have any questions?
Trying to think of trigger words that they were talking about.
What's your favorite object in this room? Can you tell us where you died? Do you know what year it is? How's your EMF reader going?
looks like it's going.
It seems to be like a pretty solid yellow through the whole room, like since I've been in here. So I wonder if it's something with the wiring even too in here. You know what I mean? Because that'll trip it off.
You hear the raindrops coming on the windows. So we're gonna leave Kristen in here for 2 minutes,
Awesome.
and then we'll come back for her in 2 minutes.
Perfect.
We'll be back.
Do you want me to do anything?
If you wanted to start asking questions, you can.
Okay.
See if anyone does anything. So,
See what happens.
all right.
Just shout if you need anything.
Okay.
Let's go.
You could turn on off this flashlight.
I can only imagine what happens in this place when people ain't here.
How you doing, Kristen? You okay?
Nothing really
I know,
happened.
right?
Nothing happened?
Did you hear
Nothing
anything?
happened. The flashlight changed once. Nothing else really happened.
Okay, I'll be here by myself. You can take the EMF reader.
Cool. Do you want this? You want a flashlight?
I got this headlight right here.
Well, I didn't know if you wanted to use it or
I
something.
can
to
do it.
communicate
I'm
with.
sure I'll freak out in here by myself.
This close.
I just don't. I'll just leave it open. Don't close. I hate you. Oh my God, Kristen. All right, so I am here by myself in this room with this very nice woman. It's raining outside. You can hear the raindrops on the windows. They're all having pleasant conversation outside. And yeah, I'm just kind of here chilling. Got some socks right over there. Got an ambulance? Police officer? This is a very old building. So any like footstep you hear in this building, you're gonna hear rooms over. Am I here by myself in this room? Can you jiggle that chest at all? Knock on it? Give it a little knock. This is the Museum of Haunted Objects. These objects are supposed to be haunted. Are they actually haunted?
Seriously. They're always like, well, all autopsies is never being out about it.
Just get up. The very old typewriter. Man, I can feel you just staring at me. And it's got the chills. And this is one of the operating or amputation boards. You put your left hand or your non-dominating hand on this board, Supposed to get a tingling sensation, is that correct? Okay.
Yeah, my permission to use my energy to manifest yourself.
And you're supposed to get like a tingling.
You may touch me.
I think you're trying to conjure something up in the other room, so I'm gonna make my way over there. But I don't feel much energy in this room. I mean, it's definitely a creepy room, but I don't really feel much in here. Besides maybe a little unease. Alright, let's see what this floor's doing. How's it going in here?
Yes. It's supposed to be EEG. So neat.
Are you looking? Oh, the pendulum.
Can you imagine?
So Kristen's using the pendulum right now. What is this on the chair? Is this a gum
I
wrapper,
put
guys?
that on there.
Just to see if it would
Okay.
What's more scary than Rosie is that you could not believe that somebody put
Lawrence.
their kid in that sled.
Oh man.
Oh, that pendulum is going
Stand
nuts.
down the hill, you know?
Oh, my camera's going nuts.
Wow, look at that.
My camera is doing what it did at the Devil's Den. It's kind of flickering a little bit.
Look at that, it just stopped.
So
Like it's dead weight
that's
stuff.
ridiculous. And my camera's malfunctioned, but you won't see on the video itself. Through my LCD monitor, I can see it, but when watching the actual video, it's not going to be that. Because you can see it, right, Shawn?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Flickering.
It's got that flicker.
It did that.
down here.
It only did that at Devil's Den when we used the pendulum.
Yep. Oh fuck. Yeah, I put that there because I thought that if something did have the energy to push an object off the chair, it'd be really easy to do something light.
Let's see. Kristen, you want to sit in front of the chair on the floor?
Why is it always me?
Because you're a girl! Apparently they don't like girls, so maybe they do.
I mean, okay.
Do you feel anything?
Just waiting for you to be like, yes, I have to poop.
Can you imagine? It's hard to tell if I feel something on my back or if it's just because, like, I have arthritis.
I just feel so heavy right now.
Who, you do?
Yeah. You guys might want to try to contact Jenny Wade.
Yeah, Jenny Wade was born in this house. John Kristen.
I was just wondering what's underneath the table.
She actually moved up the street with her sister, Virginia, because she had a baby. And that's where she actually got shot. That was located next to 1863.
Huh. Put this thing over.
Yeah, piss off of me. Good job.
I'm sorry. So, it's me. But yeah, right now I'm sitting against this this chair that you're not really supposed to. Well, you can sit in front of, but what? You feel like movement? You feel like touching, right? On your. It's a very comfortable chair to sit against.
Maybe he likes you.
And this is Artie's chair, Mike? Is that his name? Artie?
Yes.
Artie, is this your chair? Do you want to scratch my back?
Yeah, it's just gonna keep going off.
Yeah.
This
here.
Oh my god.
He
Falls to the floor.
Everything breaks.
You keep bumping into everything.
Jenny, are you here with us tonight?
What up, Jenny?
Poor Kirsten's hair.
I like it.
Yeah, Jenny, or if anyone else is here, feel free to touch one of us. You can touch me if you want to. Touch my shoulder.
Did you hear
Is that a creak?
that? I heard that.
It's like a movement. What's
Yeah.
behind? Jenny or anyone else who's here, you definitely touch my hand or touch me anywhere if you want. Kristen, please.
That wasn't me, it was him.
Oh.
I don't feel anything here.
Go back to this.
If there's any soldiers in this house that want to make contact, feel free.
Are there any Confederate or Union soldiers here? The camera that predicts death.
That's definitely a Twilight Zone episode. I don't know if it was death, but it predicts the future.
Did you hear that too?
It's not like a clock
Yeah,
ticking.
it did.
It's like an old clock going.
Was it the infrared camera right there? Kind of.
Why would it make a sound out of nowhere?
Want to do an EVP?
Yeah, that's a good idea.
So we're gonna do it. We're gonna do an EVP. I'm gonna have an audio recording on this chair, Artie's chair right here, and Shawn has a recorder over there. Let's see. So we understand that Jenny Wade was born in this house. Is Jenny with us right now? Does this chair belong to a man named Artie? If you are connected to an object in this building, do you feel at peace or at home? And if you are with us tonight, do you have a name? Shawn, do you have anything you want to ask?
Do you know who won the war?
Do you know that the South lost the war? The camera died. But the one in the room.
The other one.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
We understand that Jenny Wade was born in this house. Is Jenny with us right now? Does this chair belong to a man named Artie?
connected to an object in this building, do you feel at peace or at home? And if you're with us tonight, do you have a name? Shocking if you would ask. Do you know who won the war? Do you know that the South lost the war? The camera died.
Okay. So those haven't moved yet. Alright, so.
You guys said you heard a clock?
We heard something sound like a clock tick.
Does this camera make noise at all?
Like the security camera in this room?
I don't think so. I've never heard anything like what you guys described.
Like, you know, like the second hand on a clock, how it
Yeah,
clicks?
I've never heard anything
That's
like
what
that.
that sounded
before.
like.
That's weird.
I've never heard anything like that. I don't even think we have a clock in this damn house.
Interesting. So supposedly this doll is known to move. You'll need the pendulum by the doll.
I feel like my pendulum knows that I do counterclockwise for no and
Is
clockwise
that
for
supposed to
yes.
go through sand or something?
What's
No.
that? Oh.
You guys are smarter than I thought. Mondo dots.
You want to try
Is
talking?
this doll haunted?
There's motorcycles, man. You want to try asking if anything is connected to that doll?
Is there anything or anybody connected to this doll? It's so weird when it starts up because it actually feels like it's being pulled.
Feels like there's some... like there's pressure on it, right?
The way it was moving before was wild.
I know.
Yeah.
I don't know looking at me.
Alright, should we move into this room right over her? With Rosie.
The Victoria era was very dark, and parents would take their deceased children's hair and teeth and put them on the doll as memories, in memory of the deceased child, and keep them in the home to remember the child.
I'm gonna try your pendulum next to the doll, see what happens.
What's her name?
Rosie, right?
Where's your ghost meter at?
You have your EMF reader?
Yeah.
Get the...
When it lights up, we have it on the chair in there too.
Yeah, I was going to see when that moves or not. But yeah, I think goes nuts with it, right? You put it next to the doll, the EMF reader. Going off? Yeah, a little bit.
There we go.
Turn it off real quick so you can see it. There we go.
Oh yeah.
That's so interesting.
And quicker.
It's weird.
This is so steady.
There's no electricity right there. The spirit has to be touching it. That's how they work.
Just real quick.
You can lay that right on Rosie if you like, right on her stomach.
So it can't be this thing. Oh.
It'd be way too far from where we had it. That don't make no damn sense.
It's really strange.
Put it on her head, see what happens.
Under what now?
Put it on her head, see what happens.
On her head?
That's the cooties.
No signal found.
I'm at a perfect location to be like.
Yeah.
Alright, should we try to do an EVP and
Yeah, sure.
see if we can make some.
I'll be quiet.
Good. That's your. Alright, we are hanging out with Rosie the doll and the widow dress. Did you want to ask any questions, Kristen?
I'm not good at asking questions.
Rosie, are you here with us right now? What was it?
I heard somebody say something.
Was that you?
Rosie, you don't have to be shy. We're just here to talk and hang out for the time being. Can you let us know that you're here with us?
Can make a noise for us or move something.
Can you touch one of us? If you are connected to this doll in any way,
Right?
can you let us know that you are here with us in this room? What's the matter? You see something?
I heard something.
What'd you hear?
Maybe that.
These floors are so old.
Yeah, it could have just been like
Like you can
something
like.
stupid.
I'm seeing like a fly right now. Like all these blinded. If you lived in this house during the Civil War time, can you please make yourself known? We're here just to learn your story. We don't want any bad feelings, but we want to know if you want us to leave. I want to know who made me feel so heavy about 20 minutes ago. It's making my guests sick when they're in here.
Do you like when people come visit you? Or do you rather be alone?
And it sounded like it came from out there. I keep hearing stuff from like either over there or over there.
Alright, listen to this. I'm gonna go. It is very cold over here. It's very cold. Oh, it is freezing in here. That's my camera real quick. Is someone in here? You want to make yourself known? Widow from the picture. Can you make... Oh my god. It got so fucking cold on my neck. Widow from the picture. If you are here with me right now, can you let me know? Can you touch my hand? You can if you want to. Just reach out and touch my hand. All right. How we doing?
Ghost farts.
Ghost farts?
No. She said she heard something whispering out in the hallway through
We're just here to talk
the EVP.
and hang out for the time being. Can you let us know that you're here with us?
Can make a noise for us or move something.
Can you touch one of us? You know Rosie pretty well.
It's okay,
How do
it's
you,
nice
how do you talk to her?
I just ask whoever's hair and teeth that is placed in Rosie, that the deceased child come through.
If you're connected to this doll in any way.
Alright guys, that was the Museum of Haunted Objects. Now this entire night was interesting, but it wasn't until the last 10 minutes or so until things got really interesting when we started hearing whispers and so forth. Now, a few things. The EMF readings that we got throughout the building, the very consistent and steady EMF readings that we got, I don't think, at least I want to consider that to be paranormal related. Now, you have a very old building with very thin walls, where you can hear every conversation, every word, every footstep throughout the building. I truly believe our readers were setting off or picking up some wiring throughout the walls. Maybe even the floors or the ceilings, but that's just me being a skeptic. Now, the whispers, however, those were more likely to be paranormal related because I can't explain those. Now, it's a very busy street outside. You can hear people outside talking on the street. However, the whispers were pretty convincing in my opinion. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. If you're ever in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania, check this place out. It's amazing. They're amazing people. It's a very historic building. The items inside are beyond creepy. And do I think it's haunted at all? I would say probably. I mean, I would definitely say there's something lingering inside the Museum of Haunted Objects. And it's one of a kind in Pennsylvania. So, like I said, if you find yourself in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania, check out the Museum of Haunted Objects. Thank you for watching. Leave a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. A lot more videos are coming your way, and I'll see you next time. Take care.